How's it going, guys, and welcome to today's video. Today on the ranch, we need to move these calves for the third and final time, run over to the winter pasture and check on those cows, and then I thought today would be a great day to take the drone out and fly the hayfield and see how that's looking, because I don't think I've taken you guys out there since we planted it. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. First things first, we need to get these calves moved. As you guys can see, they did quite a number on this pasture over the last week, which really comes as no surprise given the stocking rate that we were doing. Over the last week with this pasture and hay consumption, they only ate about 1,000 pounds. Now, 1,000 pounds might sound like a lot to you, but if you consider that when they were only on hay and had no access to pasture, they were eating 4,000 plus pounds a week, it's actually a pretty good little savings. I'm hoping that I get about 2 weeks of grazing for these guys, and after that, once they have this pasture eaten down pretty good, it'll be time to get them into the corral, figure out the replacement heifers that we're going to keep and the butcher steers that are going to stay, and whoever doesn't get on that list is going into the trailer and off to auction. So in other words, in about 2 weeks, we might get our paycheck for the year. Before we move on to the next job though, I just wanted to point out real quick that right here where I'm standing, where this grass is actually growing quite well, this is where I spread those hay bales out a few months ago, and I'm going to say that that was probably the right decision because it looks pretty good right here. Well, now that we've got these calves moved, I just need to go and set a few gates right, get their salt block on the right side of the fence, and we can move on to the next thing. Before we can take off, I got to take care of these cows in the corral here. Now, for those of you that don't know, there's 15 in here, and these are the ones that didn't go to the winter pasture. Now, the reason that I kept some of them behind, some of these are first calf heifers that I want here when they have their first calves, and the others, they stay for one reason or another. They might be notorious for breaking fences, or maybe a little bit more flighty than the other ones, and I like to send the nice calm gentle ones over there because, as you guys have seen, on occasion they do get out, and it's nice to have calm cows when you're catching them. In last week's video, I said that this weekend these cows were going to go out on grass, but that plan has changed a little bit because I just am not really happy with how much that pasture's recovered yet, and I think I'll be doing everybody a favor if I irrigate that one more time and give it another week to grow. So for now, they're going to eat some more hay. All right, these girls are all taken care of, so let's run up to the winter pasture.
Cows are used to getting fed out of the truck over here, but when I pull up in the side-by-side with a bale in the back, it doesn't take them long to figure out what we're doing. I'm only feeding them one bale over here. I think that because the weather has been so dry, the grass isn't growing quite as fast as it normally would this time of year. But to look at all the cows, they all look pretty fat and happy, so they probably don't even need the bale, but shoot, I don't know. They seem pretty happy to get it, so I keep bringing it to them. Calving is right around the corner, so it's important to keep a close eye on these girls and just make sure that everything looks okay. I see a lot of their bellies starting to get big, but on this particular day I couldn't see any bags that looked promising, like they were starting to fill up. So I guess I'll just check them again tomorrow. Now, it's off to the next thing.
Something that I always want to check when I'm here is just making sure this hot wire is still hot. I kind of figure since the cows haven't got out that it's working, and I can see how much grass is growing on the other side, so I know they haven't been over there. But let's take a look and see what it's at. Well, right around 4, 4.2, 4.3, so not too bad. Enough to keep them out anyway. From where we're at here at the winter pasture, if we were to take public roads back over to the hayfield, you're probably talking about a 3 to 4 mile trip. If I just run up the levee here though, it's about 1/4 to 1/2 of a mile. So I think we'll run up there, we'll get the drone out and fly the field and just see what it looks like. As I look out over the hay field, there are two things that become apparent rather quickly. Number one, it looks like the spreader that I was using for the fertilizer was probably not throwing the fertilizer a full 30 feet wide. The reason that I know this is because as we look out there, we can see light and dark streaks. And what you're seeing there is the difference between the hay that got fertilizer and the hay that didn't. The other thing that I'm noticing is that while my spacing with the four-wheeler tracks is not terrible, they're sure not very straight. Now my application did come out actually almost perfect, so whatever I did apparently worked good enough, but it sure ain't much to look at. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, and if you want a shirt like this, check below. I think the Teespring link is finally correct. If you want one of these, go to the link and you know what to do. The calves are happy, the cows look good, the hayfield looks acceptable. I think it's a good spot to call it a day. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.